So go ahead and start at your mat. We're actually going to start in table pose, and you're just going to start by moving around a little bit. So I like to jump rope my spine, which is just kind of like, I don't know, make your spine like a jump rope, and then move it around, and then jump rope it the other way. And then take your knees as wide as your mat, touch your big toes together, hips to heels, forehead down, arms reach forward for child's pose. You're going to take 3 deep breaths in your child's pose. So nice big inhales through your nose. Feel your chest, your whole belly expands. And then also exhale through your nose. Do that 2 more times. Big inhale through your nose. Feel everything fill up. Exhale through your nose. Feel everything release in. And 1 more time. Big inhale through your nose. And exhale through your nose. Then slowly come back up to tabletop pose. So readjust knees back under your hips, hands under shoulders, micro bend through elbows. Tuck or untuck your toes, whichever one you feel. And now you're going to circle through your hips. So I usually like to start hovering my circles over my knees and then gradually spiraling them bigger. But basically whatever feels more comfortable to you, do that. And then notice which direction you naturally like to circle starting with. And then switch the way that you're circling. And then come back to neutral table pose. Again, micro bend through your elbows, so don't lock those guys out. Inhale, drop your belly down, lift your tail, lift your gaze, cow pose. Exhale, arch your spine, tuck your tailbone, lift to belly, cat pose. Do it again. Inhale, cow pose, drop belly, lift tail and gaze. Exhale, arch spine, tuck tailbone, look to your belly. Do that a couple more times. So inhale, arch down for cow. Exhale, arch up for cat. Feel your spine massaging your shoulders. Inhale, hammock down for cow 1 more time. Exhale, arch up for cat 1 more time. And then back to neutral table pose. Again, I love organic movement, so always move around in a way that feels good to you. Do some gentle twists. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower it down, plant it under your shoulder. Inhale, left arm opens to the ceiling. Exhale, lower it down. We're going to do 3 more times each side. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, lower. Twice more. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, release. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, release. 1 more time each side. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, lower. And then you're going to extend your right leg straight out to the side. So your right heel and your left knee are in the same line. Your right leg is straight out. You can point your toes wherever feels good. And then walk your hands forward a little bit. So as you inhale, you shift forward. And as you exhale, you shift back. So you can go as far back as your left heel if you want. You don't have to go even that far, as basically whatever feels comfortable. And then I also like to move my toes just because it feels better on my knees. So you're just gently opening up your hips by doing this forward and back motion. And then the next time you go back, you're going to push into your left knee and your right heel. Come up to kneeling in this weird position, right? Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, side bend over to the right. So reach up and over with your left arm. Inhale, come back to center. Reach both arms back up. Exhale, plant your left palm under your shoulder. Right arm reaches up. And then if you want, try to float your right foot off the mat. So maybe point the toes. So if you lifted the foot, lower it back down. We're going to do that a couple more times. So inhale, come back up to kneeling, reach both arms up. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up. Maybe the right heel lifts. Release it back down. We're going to do it twice more. Inhale, center, reach both arms up. Maybe look up. Exhale over to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left hand down, maybe right foot lifts. One more time. Inhale, kneel to center, reach up. Exhale, arch over to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up. Then maybe if you lifted the foot, you can pulse, so flex your toes towards the monitor or your phone, whatever you're looking at. Maybe look up to the ceiling. And then release down, swoop yourself back into table pose. Take your right knee back in. Move a little bit side to side. And then we'll do the exact same thing for the other side. So left leg extends straight out. Left heel and right knee in the same plane. Walk your hands forward a little bit. Inhale, slowly shift forward. And exhale to slowly shift back. So same thing, go as far back as your right heel if you want, or just hover over your knee. You can even come as far forward as you want. Drop your hips low, pull your heart through. And then maybe notice if your left hip is tighter than your right hip or vice versa, or maybe they're even. If you don't know, then you don't know. Don't worry about it. Just be like, cool, I'm moving around today. That's helpful. And then the next time you press your hips back, push into your right knee and left heel. Come up to kneeling. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, side bend over to the left. So reach your right arm up and over. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right hand down, left arm can lift up. Maybe your left foot lifts. And then if you lifted the foot, lower it back down. Inhale, come back to center, reach up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up. Maybe float the foot. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, come back to high kneeling. Exhale, arch over to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up. Float the foot if you want. You don't have to. And then one more time. Inhale, high kneeling. Exhale, arch to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right hand down, left arm up. So microbend your right elbow. Maybe float the foot. If you lifted it, you can pulse. You'd be like, what's up, butt? How's that feel today? If you didn't lift it, you can always move the shoulder around a little bit more so you have a little bit more freedom. Then take one more breath in. Exhale. Switch yourself back down to tabletop pose. And then keep your knees under your hips. Untuck your toes, hips to heels. Arms reach forward, plant your palms, look at your thumbs. Inhale, shift forward. Lower your hips towards the mat. Lift your heart, maybe lift your head. Exhale, push your hips back towards your heels. Keep looking at your thumbs. So we're not quite going to child's pose. Inhale, shift forward, hips low, heart lifts. Exhale, slowly shift back. And 2 more times just like that. Inhale, shift forward. Shalabhasana, cobra pose, essentially. Exhale, push yourself all the way back. And 1 more movement. Inhale, shift forward. Relish the movement between the poses. And exhale, slowly shift back. So keep your hips back. Then you're going to tuck your toes. Push into your knuckles. Lift your knees. Take a breath in. And then exhale, lift your hips. Maybe start to straighten through your legs, but don't straighten them all the way. You can always walk your feet towards your face if that's more comfortable in your down dog, and then move in a way that feels good. And if you're like, this is totally uncomfortable, nothing feels good, that is also normal. If you are just starting to do yoga, down dog is a really weird orientation for your body. It's like, what is happening right now? I'm upside down, but also not, but yes, what? So wherever you are, just take a couple more deep breaths. Then on your next inhale, you're gonna look forward, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, and then walk your feet towards the top of your mat. So your feet are about hips width apart. Bend your knees enough that your ribs touch your thighs. Relax your head all the way down towards your feet. Then walk your hands over to the right. Keep your knees bent. Walk your hands over to the left. And do that 1 or 2 more times. You're just kind of massaging the hips very gently and noticing how your low back and your hips feel. Okay, then push down into your feet, release your hands down towards your toes. Slowly roll yourself all the way up to stand. So once your head lifts, inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hands to heart. And then just close your eyes, touch your thumbs to your chest, and notice with your eyes closed how you're standing up. So do you feel the weight evenly distributed on the bottoms of your feet? Are your knees locked out or are they unlocked? Do you feel like you're leaning backwards or forwards? Is your heart lifting? Is your head in a weird position? Are your shoulders up by your ears or are they relaxed down? So just notice all these things. And then gently blink your eyes open and you're gonna shake it out. So just kind of like wiggle it out. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I'm just gonna face you so that you can see. So whenever I move on the mat, you don't move. You just keep your stuff at the same. You always face the front of the mat unless I literally say, step wide, face the wide edge of the mat. Keep facing the front. So hands to your hips like you're putting them in your pockets and then just kind of march in place for a hot second. So wherever you feel your thighs meet your pelvis, there's a little crease there. And if you're a lady, then it's way easy to understand where that is because we have big hips, right? So wherever that is, that's your hip joint. That's where you want your heels to go. So you want your heels to be right underneath those joints. You want your big toes to be parallel, like 2 number ones. Micro bend to your knees so you can feel your quads engaged. So you don't want to be like super bent like in chair pose, and you don't want to be locked out so that you're hinging on your joints. You want to be just bent enough that your pelvis is neutral, your weight is in your quads, your hip flexors, and your low core, and then you're lifting your heart so your shoulders are over your hips. And then relax your shoulders down away from your ears, lift your chin level at the floor, arms by your sides. This is mountain pose. Technically, this is anatomically neutral position. So it's like ironic that we have to, as adults, teach ourselves, reteach ourselves how to stand up naturally, right? How dumb is that? So then from here, take a big inhale. Exhale, take your fingers back to those hip creases, and then you're gonna stick your tailbone back as you hinge yourself forward so you come halfway down. So if you lead with your heart, if you round and you start to do this is not gonna be comfy for your back at all. When you stand up straight, you want to keep the spine as it is, and the only movement is going to come from those creases. So stay solid in your legs, stay solid in your spine, and then you're going to push your hips so that the tailbone goes back, heart goes forward, look down towards the floor, relax your shoulders away from your ears, and then take your hands to your knees, like right below, or to your shins if you go a little bit lower. So this is your half forward fold, Ardha Uttanasana. And then just notice how you feel here. So are you leaning your weight all the way into your heels? Are you coming forward and gripping in your toes? Can you find a balance between those two? And take a couple more breaths here. So you might, like me, feel a little stretch in your hips, in the back of your butt, maybe the backs of your legs. But your back should feel totally fine. It should be neutral. And then from here, take your hands back to your hips where those hip creases are. Push into your feet. Inhale, slowly rise to stand. So we're gonna do that 2 times. It's gonna be kind of awkward and weird, but it's good training, right? So inhale, lift up. Exhale, push your tailbone back, hinge yourself halfway down. So you're basically creating a 90-degree angle with your body. Inhale, rise back up to straighten, and do that 2 more times. So you're hinge, exhale, hinge halfway down. Inhale, slowly rise back up. 1 more time. Exhale, hinge halfway down. Take your hands towards your shins or just below your knees. And then keep pulling your shoulder blades back. Take one more breath in. And now exhale, you can round your spine, ribs touch your thighs, bend your knees as much as you need to get closer to the floor, and then relax your head down. So this is your full forward fold, Uttanasana, full forward fold. And then just like we did before, walk your hands over to the right. Keep your knees bent, walk them over to the left. Just gently massaging. Do it one more time. Walk over to the right. Walk over to the left. Come back to center. And then take your hands to your shins. Inhale, lift your heart, pull your shoulders back. You're coming back into that half lift, that 90-degree angle shape. Exhale, fold all the way back over your legs. Then you're gonna inhale, lift in that halfway shape, open your arms, rise to stand, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So that technically is a sun salute. It's a half sun salute or Ardha Surya Namaskar. So we're gonna put that all together to be the whole flow. We're gonna do it 3 times. Press down to your feet, nice and tall, micro bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, tailbone goes back, heart goes forward. So this is the half forward fold, and then round your spine, full forward fold. Hands to shins. Inhale, lift your heart, pull your shoulders back. Exhale, ribs to thighs, relax your head. Inhale, lift to a long spine, open arms, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. So that's the whole flow. We're gonna do it 2 more times. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold, tailbone back, heart forward, round your spine. Hands to shins. Inhale, lift your heart, pull your shoulders back. Exhale, fold back all the way over your legs. Inhale, lift your long spine, arms open, reach all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. So you dive down with a long spine and then round just at the end. Hands to shins. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift, long spine, push into your feet, rise to stand as you reach up, and exhale, hands to heart center. So that's kind of like a foundational flow for many yoga classes. So let's move on, do other stuff. Inhale, reach up. Then exhale, bend your knees, set your hips back for chair pose. So look down, make sure you can see all 10 toes. If you can't see your toes, your knees are too far forward, it's not good for them. Weight in your heels. Reach your tailbone to the back edge of the mat, and maybe take your hands to harder to your hips. And then just kind of like bend and straighten through your legs. So you should feel it in your quads, your low core, your butt. Relax your shoulders. Gently tuck your chin a little bit towards your chest. Feel like, what's up, glutes? If you ski or you like to ski, I've never skied before, but you can move your arms like that. And just take a couple more pulses. Push down to your feet. Inhale, straighten to stand, reach up. Exhale, fold, long spine, ribs to thighs. Hands to shins. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. So fingers tent down under your shoulders. Step your left foot back, lower your left knee down to the mat. So this is the start of our like modified sun salute. That's more than just a half. So just kind of shift forward and back on your left knee, so bending and straightening your right leg. And then the next time you go back, keep your left hip over your left knee, straighten through your right leg, and then relax your right ribs to the top of your right thigh. So then same thing here, walk your hands over to the right. Ooh, do you feel that out here? I do too. Walk your hands over to the left. Do it one more time. Hands walk over to the right. Hands walk over to the left. Recenter your hands. Inhale, bend your right knee. So if you can, plant your palms to the floor. If that's not comfortable, you can make fists. That'll be a little bit easier. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. Then you can step your right foot back. Re-lower your knees down for table. So we're not going to do any chaturungas. We're not going to do anything really hard in this class, honestly.
Inhale, drop your belly down, lift tail, lift gaze. Cow, we've already done this. Exhale, arch your spine, tuck your tailbone, look to belly cat. Then inhale, look forward, melt yourself all the way to the floor. Untuck your toes, hands back by your ribs, relax your shoulders down. Float your hands off the mat, squeeze your elbows together. Inhale, lift your head and your heart. Exhale, lower it back down. Inhale, lift your head and heart again. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, lift. Locust pose, or whatever this is. Exhale, lower, plant palms, tuck toes. Inhale, either to plank or table. I'm gonna do the easy version. Lift your knees, exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, so that is 1/4 of the flow that we're gonna do. So because we stepped our left foot back, now we're gonna step it forward so that we can switch to the other side. So as you inhale, lift your left leg up to the ceiling, flex your toes down. So don't worry about the height of the leg, worry about not popping your left hip open. So just use your left glute to lift. Exhale, left knee towards your nose, shift your shoulders forward, float your left foot forward, right knee down to the mat. So if your knee goes forward of your ankle, just keep scooching it forward until it stacks on top of the ankle, and then you can start to shift forward and back. Notice if this side is tighter than the other side. I only say that because for me, this is much tighter than the other side. If you're the opposite, then just be aware. If you're not sure, that's totally fine. And then same thing, the next time you start to straighten your left leg, right hip stays over the knee, left knee micro bends, ribs towards your left thigh. Walk your hands over to the left. Walk your hands over to the right. One more time each side. Walk hands over to the left. Walk hands over to the right. Recenter the hands. Inhale, bend your left knee, shift forward. Again, make those fists or plant the palms. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. This time you're going to step forward. And exhale, fold over your legs, bend your knees. Switch side to side, do whatever feels good. Hands to your shins. Inhale, lift your heart, pull your shoulder blades back, look down. Exhale to fold, ribs to thighs. Inhale, rise to stand with a long spine, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So that's half of the flow. Now we're going to do something a little bit different, but the same concept of stepping one leg back and the same step forward is going to switch it. It's like magic, but not at all. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to shins. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold, fingers tent down. Right foot back, right knee down. So same thing, shift forward and back. So we were just in this, right? Yeah. Ain't no thing. This time you're going to bend into your left knee. Hands to your thigh, lift your heart. So if you're leaning way back and it doesn't feel good on your low back, you should pull your low ribs in. And if you don't know what that means, if your hands are far away from each other, one hand on heart, one hand on belly, shorten the distance between your hands. And then from here, hands to your heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fingers tent underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lift your left arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower it down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, left arm. Exhale, lower. So palms or fists down. Right toes tuck. Right knee lifts. Step left foot back. Knees lower. Replant the palms if you want. Inhale, cow pose. Arch your spine down. Exhale, cat pose. Arch your spine up. Inhale, neutral spine. Lower yourself all the way to the floor. Untuck your toes. Grab your elbows behind you. Shoulders away from ears. Inhale, lift head, lift heart. Exhale, lower down. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. If you want to lift your legs too, that's totally fine. Inhale, head and heart lifts, maybe legs lifts. Exhale, lower, let go of your hands, palms plants. Inhale, push up table, toes tuck, lift knees. Exhale, down dog. Now we have one more side to do. So walk your big toes so they're almost touching right behind your face. And bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, lift your right heel straight up to the ceiling. So same thing, don't open the hip. Keep the foot and the leg squared, the hip facing towards the floor. On your next exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Make space for your foot, plant it down. Left knee comes down to the mat. So again, if your right knee goes past the ankle, just scooch the foot forward a little bit more. Slowly shift forward and back. And then same thing as we did on the other side. So rebend into your right knee when you're ready. Sink into your hips, hands to thighs, slowly lift up. Make sure there's like one handprint in between hand and heart here. And then relax shoulders. If you want to reach up, take a hot minute, feel this out. Like I feel it a lot in my left hip flexor, the front of my left thigh. Take one more breath in. Exhale, fingers tent either side of your right foot. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower it down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, lower. Once more. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, lower. Tuck left toes. Lift your left knee. Now we have to end where we started. Step your left foot forward. Fold over your legs. Hands to shins. Inhale, come up halfway. Shoulders back, lengthen through your spine. Exhale to folds. Inhale, push into your feet. Long spine as you reach all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale, hands to heart center. Whew. So that was a whole vinyasa thing. So just shake it out, move around. Just forget everything I just said. Move your head gently. And now we're gonna do that whole sequence, only connecting breath to movement. So this is like a beginner vinyasa style. It's very simple, and if you're like, this is not simple at all, that's okay. It's like just a new thing to you, and the more you practice it, the more it'll come to you and you'll be like, oh yeah, in like a few weeks you'll be like, whatever, like little vinyasa, that one's boring. Make up something more interesting, Dorje. Okay. So we're gonna start in mountain pose, just like we did. Push your feet down into the floor. Heels are under those hip creases. Don't lock out your knees, micro bend. Lift up through the heart, lift up through the head. Arms relaxed by your sides, shoulders away from ears. So before we start, either look at the floor or close your eyes. And take 3 deep breaths to center. Feel the strength and stability of your own body. All right, let's do it. Blink your eyes open. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, bend your knees, set your hips back for chair pose. Check out all 10 of your toes. Take one more breath in. Exhale, fold, ribs to thighs. Hands to your shins. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold, fingers down, left foot back, left knee down to the mat. One pulse, straighten your right leg, bend your right leg. Re-straighten your right leg, walk your hands over to the right. Walk your hands over to the left. Inhale, bend your right knee, palms or fists down, left toes tuck, lift your left knee. Inhale, step back, knees back down to table. Inhale, belly low, heart lifts. Exhale, arch your spine. Inhale, melt yourself all the way to the floor. Doesn't matter how you get there, shoulders back, hands by ribs. Inhale, lift your head and heart. Exhale, release to the floor. Inhale, push up table, tuck toes, lift knees. Exhale, down dog. Same thing, other side. Big toes can touch if you liked that. Inhale, left heel lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, come forward, left foot forward, right knee down. Scoot your left foot forward as much as you need to. One pulse, straighten left leg. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Walk your hands over to the left. Walk your hands over to the right. Inhale, recenter, bend your left knee, right toes tuck, lift the knee. Exhale, step forward, ribs to thighs. Hands to shins, inhale, come up halfway, nice long spine, parallel to the floor. Exhale, fold. Inhale, long spine, reach up to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Halfway done. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, knees bend, hips back, look down, check out your toes. One more breath in. Exhale, fold over your legs, ribs to thighs. Hands back to your shins. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, ribs back to thighs, hands down. This time, right foot back, right knee down. One pulse, straighten your left leg. Bend your left knee. Push into your left foot. Inhale, reach both arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, tent your fingers down. Maybe palms can come to the floor. Keep your right hand down. One, open. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, lower it down. Maybe make fists. Right toes tuck. Lift your right knee. Inhale, step back, plank. Exhale, table. Maybe plant palms. Inhale, belly down, tail and heart lifts. Exhale, arch your spine, look to your belly. Inhale, lift yourself up, lower all the way down to the floor. This time, grab your other elbow, so the other forearm should be on top. Inhale, lift your head, heart, maybe your legs. Exhale, lower, plant palms under shoulders. Inhale, push up table. Tuck toes, lift knees, exhale, down dog. Take your toes a little bit closer together. Inhale, right leg lifts up, 3-leg dog. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders forward, plant the right foot forward, left knee down. So scoot your left knee back or your right foot forward if you need to, one of those pulses. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, bend into your knee. Push into your right foot. Inhale, rise, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Exhale, tent fingers down, maybe palms, maybe fists. Inhale, right arm lifts up to the ceiling. Exhale, right arm releases down. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. Step forward and fold over your legs. Almost done. Hands to shins. Inhale, come up, long spine, halfway. Exhale, folds. Inhale, rise to stand, reach all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale, hands to heart center. So either keep your hands at heart or relax them by your sides. Close your eyes. You're going to take 3 of those deep breaths that you started the flow with. How do you feel versus when you started? When you're done with your 3 rounds of breath, reopen your eyes and shake it out. Forget everything I just said. Forget everything you just did. Like, whatever, it's done. Okay, then you're going to step back with your right foot. So this time you are going to face the side edge of your mat. So your monitor is probably going to be, I guess for you it's over here or whatever, I don't know. So you're gonna point your toes out, heels in slightly. Once you bend your knees, you don't want your knees to go past your ankles. So if you're here and this is what's happening, step your feet a little bit wider. Inhale, open your arms, lift up. It's a star pose or like X-Men pose, whatever you want. Exhale, bend your elbows, bend your knees. So your butt's gonna go back just like the half forward fold, hinging at hip creases. Inhale, straighten legs, open arms. Exhale, elbows and knees bent. Ooh, feel it yet? Inhale, straighten, lengthen. Exhale, hinge and bend. So here, you're gonna look like a crab. Maybe do like pinch your hands. And then you can relax your hands towards your thighs, but keep your shoulders relaxed. No weight in your hands. Sink your hips a little bit deeper. Reach your tailbone a little further back. Inhale, lift your hearts. Exhale, twist over to the right. So left shoulder towards right knee. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist right again. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left again. We're gonna do it one more time each side. Inhale, center. Maybe you can be like, Ma, no hands. Exhale, over to the right. It just makes it harder. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, straighten your legs. Reach all the way up. Exhale, arms by your sides. Point your toes towards one another, heels out. Micro bend your knees. Inhale, hands to hips, lift your heart. Exhale, hinge inside your legs. So head down in between your feet. Then you can take your hands to the outsides of your calves or your ankles or your big toes or even just to the floor. And then shift your weight towards the balls of your feet. Keep that micro bend into your knees. Lift your tailbone up to the ceiling. So you're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Then to come up, take your hands back to your hips, push into your feet. Inhale, slow motion, slowly rise all the way to stand. And then point your left toes to the front of the mat. Left toes should be turned in slightly. Stay straight through your legs, but unlocked through your knees. Heart is facing towards the wide edge of your mat, the long edge. Inhale, level your arms with the floor. Then exhale, bend into your left knee. So you're in warrior 2. So if you were with me a couple weeks ago, we already did this. Now we're just gonna add on from here. So inhale, lift through your heart. Keep your legs as they are. Exhale, reach towards the front of the mat with your left hand. And then float your left elbow inside your left knee. So maybe just hang on here. I don't want any weight in this arms, like sorry, not sorry. So if you're like this, like you're not engaging. If you're like this, you are engaging. So your left arm or your right arm can be straight up or reaching towards the front edge of the mat. This is Utthita Parshvakonasana or whatever this is. Extended side angle pose. Then take one more deep breath here. You're like, but Dorje, my legs are shaking. That's okay. Inhale, straighten your left leg, lift up out of your hips, and then reach towards the front edge of the mat. You can take your right hand to your hip. So you should feel a stretch somewhere like in the inside of your left thigh or the outside of your hip, maybe even the side body. And then from here, you're gonna turn your heart up towards the ceiling. So this is like modified triangle pose. Look wherever feels comfortable for your neck. I promise these are all beginner poses. Take one more deep breath. Inhale, slowly reach your left arm up, lengthen it back, reverse triangle. Then exhale, let it go. Shake out your arms. Turn your left toes in slightly, right toes point towards the back edge of the mat. So same thing other side. So straight through the legs, unlock through your knees, shoulders over hips. Inhale, level your arms with the floor. Exhale, bend your right knee over the ankle. So same concept as before on the floor. If the knee goes past the ankle, just scoot your left foot towards the back edge of your mat a little bit more. Take one more breath here. Exhale, float your right elbow towards your right knee. So again, no weight in this arm. If your right ear and your shoulder touch, you're just being lazy. So lift your head out of your shoulder, lots of space for your neck. Float your arm, reach your left arm up or towards the back edge of the mat. Turn your heart towards the ceiling. Look wherever it feels comfortable for your neck. Take one more deep breath here. If you're shaking, it means you're building strength, I promise. On your next inhale, straighten your right leg. Lift your heart up out of your legs. Reach your left arm back, right hand to hip or whatever this is. Opposite way. So hinge towards your right foot with your armpit. Imagine like you're going to touch your foot with your armpit. Level your right arm with the floor. Turn your heart back up to the ceiling. Take one more deep breath. If you can't take a deep breath, maybe back out of it a little bit. Inhale, reach your right arm all the way back, reverse. Exhale, right hand to hip. Turn your right toes in. Shake out your arms. Open them. Bend knees. Jump yourself together. Ooh, shake it all out. Face the top of your mat again. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Toes out, heels in. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart, squat as low as you can go. So if your squat is here, just stay here. If you can get all the way to the floor, awesome. If not, that's totally fine too. If your heels lift up, that's totally fine. If they stay on the floor, that's also totally fine. Basically, wherever you are, you want to open your collarbone. Maybe just take your hands to the outsides of your knees, whether you're way up here or halfway down or all the way down. And relax your shoulders, relax your head. You're going to reach your arms straight forward and sit without falling backwards. And if you fall backwards, laugh at yourself and sit back up. Take the soles of your feet together, knees open wide. Hands to shins, ankles, feet, whatever. Inhale, lift up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge yourself forward. So again, shoulders relax, head relax down. So if you want to move around in Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, just kind of like sway your shoulders side to side. That actually feels good in my side body. So if it feels good in your side body, do that as well. Or you can just stay still, whatever feels better for you. And we're going to stay here for a little bit longer just because it feels good to me. I don't know if it feels good to you, but just stay relaxed and you're using the weight of your upper body to open your hips, your legs, your inner thighs. So you're going to take 3 more deep breaths here. All right, when you're ready, inhale, slowly lift up to seated. Grab under your knees, lift them up, take your feet as wide as your mat. Hands come back behind you, and then slowly swish your knees side to side. And then you're gonna add arms to it if it feels good. So knees all the way over to the right, right hand down. If you want, lift your hips or just stay seated. Inhale, reach your left arm back behind you. Exhale, sit down. Switch your knees over to the left. Inhale, maybe lift hips, right arm reaches back. Exhale, slowly sit. 2 more times each side. Knees over to the right. Inhale, left arm reaches back. Exhale, sit down. Swivel over. Inhale, right arm reaches back. Exhale, switch. 1 more time each side. Inhale, hips can lift, left arm reaches back. Exhale, sit down. Move over to the left. Inhale, right arm back. And exhale, slowly sit back down. Okay, so you're gonna love this one. Not really, you're gonna hate it, but it's good for you. So we're going to do Agni Sambhasana, which is fire log pose. So take your right shin forward. So you want your shin to be like straight in front of you, not in an angle, not in a weird thing. Just right knee out to the side, right foot going over to the left. So it's like a shelf right in front of you. Then you're going to lift your left foot, grab above and below the ankle. You're going to place the ankle just below your right knee. So like, look how much space there is between my left knee and my right ankle. That's totally fine if that's how you are too. If you can stack your shins, lucky you. Most of us are not that lucky. So here, you're basically creating a triangle shape. So your pelvis is the point of the triangle, your thighs are the two sides of the triangle, and your shins are the base of the triangle. So from here, if you can touch the bottoms of your feet, do that. And then you can push your hands into your feet and vice versa. Push your feet into your hands. If that's not comfortable, take your hands to your thighs and do the same thing. So you're actually activating the muscles that you're stretching. And you're like, oh my God, this is torture. I thought yoga was supposed to feel good. Well, just like life, sometimes you have to go through shit to get better. It's called transformation, guys. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, you can stop pressing. Hands can go to the sides. Maybe walk yourself forward. So you can fold as far forward as feels comfortable. Or if you're like, that's not happening, just stay nice and upright and then just slowly hinge forward. So again, the weight of your torso is opening your hips. And then wherever you are, you're going to take 3 more deep breaths. And as you continue to breathe, maybe you start to inch yourself forward. Maybe you don't move at all. Maybe it's just intentional. And maybe you're like screaming at yourself, like, when can I get out of this? I'm not forcing you to do anything. You are choosing to do this. After your third round of breath, inhale, slowly come back up to seated. Grab above and below your left ankle. Remove it from your knee. Again, take your feet as wide as your mat. Hands behind you to the floor. Very slowly go side to side. And you're like, oh, sweet Buddha, this is such a relief, right? And then you remember that we have to do the other side. Okay, so other side. Left shin is right in front of you like a shelf. Flex your left ankle. Grab above and below your right ankle. Take it just below your left knee. So again, you're stacking the joints. Your right knee is on top of your left ankle, no matter how much space is in between. And you're creating that triangle space with your legs. Either hands to soles of feet or hands to thighs. Either push down or in and then push out or up. So again, opposite action. Shoulders stay relaxed and don't let them creep up. Look towards the floor so your neck is nice and long. Notice if this hip feels different. Like for me, this side is like so much tighter. Take one more breath in. Exhale, release the pressure. Hands can go either straight out to the sides or come forward. Again, hinge as far forward as feels comfortable. And you're like, this isn't comfortable at all. I understand. So same thing, keep your shoulders relaxed away from your ears, look down towards the floor. You're gonna take 3 more deep breaths here. Maybe inching forward as you continue to breathe, maybe just staying still. When you're ready, inhale, slowly sit back up, grab above and below your right ankle, remove it from your left knee. One more time, feet wide your mat, hands behind you, slowly switch side to side. Whew, almost done, guys. So bend your knees in towards your chest. You're going to touch the insides of your feet together. Grab onto your big toes with your 2 peace fingers so you're kind of hooking them. And then very slowly start to inch your legs forward, your feet forward, but keep your ribs touching your thighs. So if you come forward and you're like this, then bend your knees more, lift your heart, and then go forward. So you want to feel more of a stretch in the backs of your thighs, maybe the outsides of your hips, maybe the outsides of your thighs. And then you can very gently pull your toes with your hands and maybe push your feet into your fingers. Again, shoulders relax away from your ears. Head relaxes towards your knees. Take 3 deep breaths here. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. When you're done with your 3 rounds of breath, inhale, slowly lift your heart, let go of your feet. You can plant your feet to the mat if you want, or you can rock forward and back on your spine, so grabbing behind the knees. And if you don't want to be a child like me, you can be a boring adult. Plant your feet, reach your arms forward, slowly roll yourself all the way down. Once you lay down, bring your knees in towards your chest, hang onto your knees with your hands, and just stir your knees in one direction. Maybe just sway side to side, and then switch. Then plant your feet hips width apart to the mat. Scoot your heels as close to you as you can. Push into your heels. Inhale, lift your hips off of the mat, so you're engaging your quads and your glutes. Arms can be by your sides, or you can even reach them overhead. So we're just going to hold bridge pose for a few rounds of breath. Lifting your pelvis as high towards the ceiling as you can, keeping your shoulders relaxed, and then lift your chin up to the ceiling. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, hips come to the mat. Bend your knees in towards your chest. Hang on to them, sway side to side a couple times. And then let your knees hover. Inhale, reopen your arms. They can go to a T or to a cactus shape. Exhale, lower your legs over to the right. And then you can move your head wherever it feels comfy. So if your left shoulder lifts up off the mat, don't worry about it. You can always readjust to make it more comfortable. The goal is not to lower the shoulder blade to the floor. The goal is to make your back feel good. Maybe close your eyes. And take 2 more deep breaths. When you're ready, inhale, roll to your back again, knees to chest, hang on to your knees with your hands, sway side to side a couple times. And then same thing other side, knees hover, inhale, reopen your arms. Exhale, legs over to the left. Any adjustments you need, turn your head wherever you want. Get yourself to be comfortable. Maybe reclose your eyes. 2 more deep breaths in your Jatara Parivartanasana, recline twist. When you're ready, inhale, slowly come back to center. Hang on to your knees with your hands one more time. 1 more sway side to side. This just really neutralizes your spine, your low back. And if your back is still a little crunchy, feet as wide as the mat, knees come together like a little triangle. Arms can do whatever feels good. Or you can just extend your legs straight forward and down to the mat. Again, take your arms wherever it feels the best for your shoulders, and you're going to lay down as though you're going to fall asleep. And if you need a longer Shavasana, then please just turn off the video. Don't worry about it. Or if you just want to hear me lead you through a gentle relaxation, feel free to stay.
So just relax all the muscles in your toes and your feet. Relax your ankles, your calves. Soften your knees and your thighs. Feel your hips grounding to the mat. Relax your fingers and your hands. Your wrists and your forearms. Release your elbows and your upper arms. Feel your ribs just gently expanding and releasing as you naturally breathe in and out. Relax your shoulder blades, the tops of your shoulders, your collarbone. Relax through your jaw. And soften all of the muscles in your face. And just give yourself these next few minutes to simply exist. Feeling so relaxed that you can absorb all of the energy that you cultivated doing all of your postures. And just letting yourself breathe. And again, if you just want to stay here, just stay here. Like, you've got nothing to worry about right now. And if you need to come out of your Shavasana corpse pose, start by transitioning with your breath. So just like we started class with, initiate those 3 deep inhales and exhales. Whenever you feel ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll out your wrists, maybe your ankles, maybe move your head gently side to side. Then if you want a full body stretch, arms can reach back behind you, point and flex your feet. And then curling yourself into a ball, you can sway side to side, you can roll to your side, you can rock forward and back, whatever is working better for you. And then when you make your way up to seated, just kind of wiggle a little bit, cross your legs however you like. Reclose your eyes, take your hands to your heart. Deep breath into your heart, feeling gratitude for what you just did. Deep breath from your heart, let it go. One more time, big breath into your heart. And exhale, release. As always, the light in me honors the same light in you. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. I know